Many thanks for your company. It is the news review segment on the AM show. Thanks for joining us. And my guest in the studio with me this morning is Nanaya Achepem Jantwa, the former General Secretary of the CPP, as well as Kofi Capito, Chief Executive of Consumer Protection. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Morning, my dear lady.
Is it a good morning or it's a bit early for you?
It's still morning.
Too early, but it's still morning.
It's still morning.
Yeah. Well, so I'll give you, I'll start with you, Mr. Capito. I'll give you 2 minutes to walk us through what's top of your mind this morning.
What is on top of my mind is how things don't work in Ghana, period. Everything that we've tried to do, we somehow do it halfway and stuff. The reason being is Ghana Airport Company. I think it's not fair to my good people of Ashanti. This beautiful airport, the O2 the Prempeh, the second international airport. Beautiful airport.
Yeah.
What they are doing to the people of Kumasi or passengers that goes, actually, to be precise, drivers that go to the airport, I think is unfair.
What's that?
You know, there's a toll process in Kumasi that is not fair to the drivers in Kumasi going to the airport. Accra, the biggest airport in Ghana, when you are dropping passengers, you enter the airport without being charged. Kumasi for some time, because they said it was the design of the airport, forced drivers to pay 1 cedi, whether you are dropping
Just
or
to
picking.
enter the airport, yeah.
Then they built this new airport. All of a sudden, they have a 5 cedis charge for you to enter the airport. Dropping or packing. I don't mind when you are dropping because you drop and you leave. What is interesting is when you park at the car park, it happened to me and my driver. My flight delayed, so I got there maybe an hour, 30 minutes late. He had paid the 5 cedis to enter. Then we get to the gate, they say we should validate the ticket. Then they told him that he needs to pay more. I said, but the man paid 5 cedis to enter. They said, it only gave him 30 minutes. Listen, they are doing it to us.
Yes.
And this is something that we, the Ashantis, we should resist.
Yes.
Then my driver goes to pay whatever they say he should pay. They charge him 45 cedis extra.
For parking.
For parking at Kumasi Airport.
Wow. Okay.
Guess what? Accra, the biggest, the busiest. You can't do that in Accra. Why are you doing it to my people in Kumasi? Is it because we are Ashantis?
No,
No, seriously.
I just want to say, perhaps it's not an Ashanti factor.
Let me tell you the reason why. They are afraid of the people in Accra.
Oh.
Because big people are in Accra.
That is true.
You get my point? And they know they will be challenged at Accra.
At Accra.
And they say, okay, these people, we can take advantage of them. Like I'm saying, they've been taking advantage.
They do every time.
They've been taking advantage for us for so long, even with the 1 cedi for you to drop somebody at the airport. Then they introduce 5 cedis. Like I said, I agree. If you need to pay for the airport, can't you raise the money in Accra? There's more traffic in Accra. You get my point? This is where the concentration should be.
And nobody is looking, so
nobody is looking. And then they say, but now if you go to Heathrow Airport, they charge you £5 for you to drop off.
I was going to say that it's done elsewhere in this world.
Guess
but
what?
I mean, I understand why you would feel like it's something done against you. But I don't think you should say it's an Ashanti. It's something you're doing against Ashanti.
It should be even.
Right. Okay.
It should be even.
Okay.
That if you charge me 5 cedis to enter the airport, and you say you give me 30 minutes, it doesn't even sound right. Because the grace period should not even attract a fee.
But why 5 cedis? I've been asking myself why.
I don't even know. You should take it up.
You have cancelled toll in this country.
Yeah.
So why are you still taking a toll?
As for the car park, maybe.
No, but the toll, they don't define to us what it is for. You get there and if you don't allow.
But they need to maintain.
If you don't pay, then
I'm sure they pay people to sweep and take care
of.
Then
so it's
maintenance.
No, they should tell us.
Right.
My dear.
But I get your point, Mr. Capito. I get your point.
There's a fee on the ticket.
Right.
Yes.
What is it used for? Because they know they can get away with it. But as long as I remain a Kumasi boy and Ashanti, this thing won't happen. If they want to charge the whole Ghana, especially Accra, the same amount as they are doing charging Kumasi, I don't have a problem.
There's also
okay. Let's get into that. Nana, what about you? What's on your mind?
Me, I mean, what's on my mind this morning is very pathetic, and that is the government should resource institutions. Did you watch the fire service yesterday at Zongo?
Yeah.
They couldn't reach the place. Do you get me? The people around said that the fire wasn't that bad, but the fire service was just standing there. And the fireman said that they don't have the stairs. They don't have the equipment.
They don't have the ladder, actually.
The ladder, yes. They don't have it. But they couldn't even do it on TV. The thing was just burning, and they were standing there helpless. And
eventually they got the...
No, but it
took a while, but
it was too late. The place had, all the things had burnt, and you could see these Chinese people going up and down. But my issue was that what is the Chinese doing with retail?
They have business.
Yes, because you are not supposed to do retail like
there's a provision that if they invest a certain amount and they employ a certain amount of people, they can do it.
Yeah, but I mean, retail... But that's for another conversation. But as I saw the fire, it
was devastating.
Devastating in this economic situation. And the fire said, do you get it?
Yeah.
And that
all
place
those goods lost.
Goods lost.
How are they going to?
It's the hub of Makola. The Zongo, that is where most of the things that we buy in Makola, that's where people go and take it at the wholesale and come and sell. And I'm like, just one fire tender. They couldn't get the ladder. They were just...
I mean, after, in the reports that we aired, I think Alex Mensah, ACOP, someone from the PR department was saying that eventually they had like 10 fire tenders there. That is how eventually they were able to fight it.
No, you said eventually. By the time they got there, the fire had devastated everything. Yeah. Do you get me? And this is the issue with the fire service. Ever since after 2017, they have not resourced them with equipment. How many years? So many years. Even before that, I think the last time they were resourced was 2014.
Okay.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we need to, some of these things, in America, in the UK, where we always use as examples, in nearby Abidjan here, Ivory Coast, when there is fire, there is quick response and they have equipment. These are some of the areas that the government should look at.
Right. So it's an appeal that government should resource these. They are very important.
But you don't know. You don't know when it will happen.
True. You know, let me piggyback.
Let's get right.
You know, all of a sudden, walk around Accra, airport, cantonments, Laboni. Have you seen the high rises going up?
The houses.
Okay. And guess what? The ladders of the fire service in Ghana cannot reach
the top of this.
So in case there's fire, we see Ghana, we don't think.
This is even a two-story.
Let's get into the newspapers. Yeah, let's get into the newspapers.
I'm surprised it's not in the newspapers. I thought it would be front page today.
We have a long way to go. We do. Let me start with the Daily Graphic. On the front page, Bediako unveils 12-pillar economic freedom policy. Yes, that's Cheddar. He said he's seeking to make Ghana a powerhouse. We'll get into that story in a bit. Collaborative efforts needed for peaceful election, that is according to the Speaker of Parliament. And Very Reverend Professor Samuel Jedu, the new Methodist presiding bishop, is also saying something here. And no plans for military base in Ghana. This issue has been at the center of controversy, whether the military intends to actually build, the U.S. intends to build a military base in Ghana. And they are saying that there are no plans for military base in Ghana. And that story is here, so we'll get into it. But let me start with Nana Kwame Bediako's plans for Ghana. The presidential hopeful and leader of the New Force movement, Nana Kwame Bediako, has launched a comprehensive policy plan that seeks to transform the country into an economic powerhouse, ensure sustainable development, lift people from poverty, and build a governance structure that will allow Ghanaians to enjoy fruits of democracy better. And I just want to get into his thematic areas. He's focusing on industrialization, infrastructure development, energy, education and good governance, with implementation set to be achieved by leveraging the country's enormous natural and human resources activated by strong and quality leadership with political will. Do you think this man has what it takes to tip the scales in a bit? Let me start with Nanaya. Cheddar.
Let me say good morning to your viewers and good morning to yourself. Good morning to my big brother here, Kofi Capito. Everybody wants to be president, isn't it? And it's a dream.
I don't. Well, not now.
But everybody nurses a dream. Yeah. I watched him yesterday.
I want to be a first lady.
No, if anything, I want to be president. No, not a first lady.
I watched him yesterday.
Arriving in that tipper truck, painted with the colors of Ghana.
And having Kwame Nkrumah's picture in the back, everybody, and he calling himself Osajifo. And I'm like, hey, now people can leverage on the legacy of Osajifo, but everybody is picking Osajifo legacy. And I was also impressed with the in-depth information that he had on every region, the resources that every region has, and computing it into how much the region is worth. And I was thinking, where did he get it from? Maybe from Statistical Service or NDPC.
He did some research.
He did a good,
so some good research went into it.
A lot of research went into it. But what I saw was that it was mainly on the economy and a bit of education and governance. He didn't touch on the social aspects and the health too wasn't very clear. I was expecting him to talk about health. I was expecting him to talk about agriculture. I was expecting him to talk about other sectors of the economy. I was expecting him to talk about the depreciation of the cedi and how he's going to ensure that the cedi is stabilized.
I think
but largely, he spoke about the economy.
Yeah. Which sort of is the pivot round which all these other main entities go.
But so you need to be specific about how you are going to ensure, especially how importation is a problem for us. And how, every time we are looking for dollars. I expected him to talk. He also touched on, I was a bit surprised when he touched on gold for cash. He said that we are going to use gold to shore up our. He talked about it, so I was like, this one, where is it coming from? But he didn't speak about Galamsey. Meanwhile, he used the River Pra as a backdrop. So I was like, the way this River Pra is like this, and you haven't said anything about Galamsey. He didn't go in there. But overall, he put some data together, which was impressive. But he said he was going to have 12 ministers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have gone against the Constitution. The Constitution says 19. Right. So I don't know whether he has a plan to review the Constitution, or as a president, he's not going to work with the Constitution, he's going to put the law aside. And also, he said that he was going to run a government without a vice president. So then he wants to do what Nkrumah did. So he's calling himself Osaj, because you remember, Kwame Nkrumah didn't have a vice president, but he had senior ministers and other people helping him. So, really, on the whole, the aesthetics of it was nice. And afterwards, he did this documentary. It was not the data and the aesthetics, but now it's left with implementation.
How Ghanaians will also absorb all these ambitious promises.
Right. So, he educated us on our wealth. And then it occurs to you that if we have this wealth in this country, why are we borrowing money from IMF? True. And that our presidents and our governments might have failed us. Yeah. And we need to really have a rethink because Ghana is rich.
It is Sikaso, and so common day. Mr. Capito. Yeah. Mr. Capito, what about you?
You know, Nana is saying
Freedom Jacob Caesar.
He finds it interesting that he's calling himself Osajofo.
Yeah.
But you know, this man is a show boy.
Okay.
And one of Nkrumah's name was a Nkrumah show boy.
Okay, yeah.
You know, look, I'll say that in terms of presentation, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question is, what is the depth of what he promised to do? And I'm looking at all these manifestos and I'm laughing. Because when you look at the GTP, which is
Great Transformation Plan.
Yes, which by Alex,
Alliance for Revolutionary Change. Or Alan Chamante.
Yes, it is interesting that it looks like every manifesto is now copying the things that Alan said. Because he launched his own first. Look, my biggest problem of all this promise.
Really? Even the NDC and NPP? Is that what you think?
I mean, look at what they are saying and then look at what is in the GTP. My biggest problem of all this, and I think we are not talking about it. Nanaya mentioned the Galamsey. We need to have what will be the front issue for any leader, which is law and order. Because in the other jurisdictions, what makes them somehow more doing better than us is law and order.
Adherence to law.
Nobody's above the law.
That's how systems work.
That is how systems work. You know, when Obama came and said that we need to build strong institutions, I was saying, no, you need a strong man to build a strong institution. Because the institutions don't build by themselves.
To ensure enforcement of the law.
Enforcement of the law, that is what we are lacking as Ghanaians. Do you know who I am? Oh, can you, this is one of us, oh, the man has done something illegal. Let the law deal with him. I get a little bit offended when, quote unquote, an individual belonging to a certain party is charged with or accused of doing something illegal.
Or corrupt.
When the person would have his day in court, then you have foot soldiers disturbing my peace. The man who you are demonstrating for does not even give a hoot about you. Whatever that he's accused of, you are not even part of it. If he's accused of stealing money, he didn't give you some of the money. He let his wife and children come and demonstrate. Me, I will not show up. Honestly, I will not show up when you are accused of doing something illegal against Ghana. Because it affects me. Let the law deal with you. If you are not guilty, I would applaud for you. If you are guilty, go inside.
Right.
And we need to let people know that if the laws are working, look at what is happening to Trump. He's been recharged though. They preferred another charges against a former president.
Again?
Again.
Yeah, again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris is...
Anyway.
No, it's not Kamala Harris. It's a system. You see, America, you cannot do that.
Yeah,
It's a system.
Let's do some other stories for the sake of time. Our systems will work. It will take a while, but we'll get. I'm very confident that one day we wake up and
Look,
the Ghana we see today will not be the Ghana we have.
Cheddar, as a young person, I think had done very, very well. He's giving hope, but no Ghanaian child is like Cheddar. Let's be fair.
Is he a child?
He's a young man.
He's a young man.
Relatively younger than he should be in early 40s or less.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's very, very young.
Yeah.
And to me, for any young person to be bold and have the resources, look, his media campaign.
You do know that the source of his wealth or money has come under question.
No, I'm just saying that.
So, I mean, you're saying that he has it.
No, I'm just saying that as long as nobody has arrested him, nobody has accused him, then I'm not the one to judge where he got his money from.
Okay.
All I'm saying is he has executed his public image well, presentation, media. You people should be happy because like in America, you use the media to promote your agenda. So the media should be making money off him.
So the agenda setting for him as well. Let's do some other stories, Kofi Capito.
Sure.
I want to get into this story about no plans for military base in Ghana, because this is not the first time it's coming up. There have been so many questions and activities that have raised eyebrows whether or not the USA intends to build a military base here. So the United States of America has no plans of establishing a military base in Ghana, a top security envoy has stated. Major General Kenneth P. Ekman, the director of the U.S. Africa Command Coordination Element, told the Daily Graphic in an exclusive interview that many people had been asking questions on the subject. But contrary to that, he said the United States had no such intention. Rather, he added that what it intended to do was reposition some forces in the region, just as it was doing in Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, and Chad. Let me skip to this part where he said the visits to Ghana underscored the strength of the U.S.-Ghana partnership and reaffirmed shared values and commitments to ongoing collaboration to ensure stability and prosperity in West Africa. He has so far met with the government officials and the military leadership, including the Minister of Defense, that's Dominic Ntiwo, and the Chief of Defense Staff, etc., just to strengthen their collaborations on security efforts. But, I mean, to wait, no plans to build a military base in Ghana. What are your thoughts?
You know, sometimes...
I think it settles the skepticism there,
No, I'm just saying that the man who you're accusing of bringing the thing to you says he's not bringing it. But he's talking about collaboration.
Yeah.
He's talking about...
Security, stability in West Africa.
Yes. And we are calling for it. You call somebody that you need support, and he brings you support, and you are worried. I don't get it. Because, look, let me tell you what. The new world order is for everybody to have a big brother. Okay? Who will come to their aid, as the Americans are doing in Israel. And they are doing it in Ukraine. Okay? Everybody has a big brother somewhere. Because if you don't have a big brother, somebody will bully you. My issue is, if they want to come, they will come. Who are you, Ghana?
Who are we?
Yeah, I'm just saying. You depend on the man for even AK-47. You get my point?
If you put it that way.
The reason why America cannot...
They also depend on us.
No, let me know, Nana.
Yeah.
The reason why America cannot bluff countries like Russia and Iran and all those people who are...
Because they're a power on their own.
They are powerful. You might beat them, but it will take you a long time for you to beat them.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody, they'll just walk in. And let us not antagonize. I'm not saying that we should go in full speed. Just like Haiti has been abandoned. And if you see the mess in Haiti, it is sad. Okay, we are talking about terrorists, these people, every night they hear they are already somewhere in the north or Burkina Faso somewhere, and they are going to descend, south. Let's make sure that it's a balanced thing. It's a respect thing, where nobody takes advantage of the other person. Yes, I wouldn't want the American soldier to disrespect the Ghanaian soldier, as in most cases they tend to do. Once they come, it's America, and the whole country is behind them. And their foreign policies, when it's time, no matter what you do, it will happen. It is a policy that they actually look at. Why do you think America is all of a sudden interested in Ghana, in Africa?
Right.
For what?
Because of our wealth.
Yeah,
our
because
resources, our natural...
Kofi, if you tell me that, what do they need from us? We give them a lot.
Like what?
Do you get me? Our
Like
resources.
Even human capital.
Like
Human capital.
Give them a lot. All the brain drain, where are they going? They're going to America.
America is not
In the
asking
United
you.
States, in
Canada,
Europe.
Canada
They're
is
going all
asking
over the
you.
place.
America is not asking you to
Because
bring
Do you know
They
that?
know
Do you know
America is
that?
fighting over immigration.
Do you know that as we speak,
Automatic.
countries are advertising for citizens to leave? I got a message from some Canadian something, and he said the message was titled, "Are you that happy in Ghana? This is your time to explore some." Are you that happy in Ghana? So a country is asking me to abandon my country and come to them, and their way is asking me. It was a face in how moment for me.
They are taking our nurses,
Canada is taking
They are taking our doctors.
Canada is taking our doctors.
Our resource. You think that America will be interested in you because of just being interested?
Yeah.
No. They have an interest. And that interest is wealth.
Is you?
Do you get me? The wealth. Do you understand? The wealth.
I get
that,
you
don't know what they take away when they come. You don't know what kind of negotiations they do. You cannot say that Ghana doesn't give America anything. There must be some interest. And for me, U.S. Africa Command, when are we going to be on our own? When are we going to be in charge of our own affairs? As Kwame Nkrumah said, the African is capable of taking charge of their own affairs.
So far,
when are we going?
It has been proven that it's not possible.
When are we going to do? You see, Rwanda has done it to the extent that even the UK wanted to send some people who are illegal immigrants to the UK to Rwanda. And they paid 400 and something million pounds. Now that UK has rescinded on the decision, Rwanda said, I'm not giving the money back to you. It was an arrangement. Yeah. He's going to use it to develop his nation. Yeah. Because you see, if Rwanda has been able to do it, Rwanda is an African country. Do you get me? They even came out of war. You see, the selfishness of our leaders is what is bringing us these troubles. Because we need to be able to look after ourselves. Yeah. We need to be able, because with all the resources that we have today, what was revealed, it showed that Ghana is very rich. Ghana is very rich in resources. Ghana is very rich human resource, natural resources. Why are we not harnessing it for the development of our nation?
And are you saying that if we position ourselves as a country with our own power, we should not be worried whether or not an external, a country like the United States wants to establish a base in?
No, I mean, why should they establish? Maybe to be some international collaboration. But sometimes when you go to the American embassy, my dear, it is very sad. Yeah. You see people, queuing under trees. They are just turning people away, praying. and sweetie, the point is that when you go to these countries, life is not easy.
Oh, yeah.
I am telling you, we are waking up at 4 a.m. here, we are talking. If you are not careful, you sleep only 2 hours. Yeah. Because you need to do about 3 jobs to be able to survive. Do you understand? Initially, if you don't go and educate yourself. So I don't see why Africa, Ghana is like this, with all the resources. Because you have one person trying to, how can one person, you maintain ambulances, you use the resources of the organization, and you charge $38 million. One person. One person.
It's what it tells me is that the money is here.
No, I'm telling you,
we have the money. We have the money.
So if
or we have the means to make the money.
No, but if an organization can pay $38 million as fees for maintenance, then I mean, what is it?
That is stealing. That is what I'm saying. No, that is different. Because you know what? You have Silver Star, who is a Mercedes-Benz dealer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you want parts, where to go better than a dealership?
No, Kofi, that's what.
But the question is, we gave that is stealing. That's another story.
So it's another story. That is why we are here today. Do you understand? One person. Sometimes I wonder all the scandals that have come. I'm wondering how much money do you need? So even in your own home, you sleep on one side of the bed. You sleep, that's one side of that.
And it's greed, though.
Yeah, it's greed and selfishness.
But let me do one more story here, and I'll come to you. Yeah. If the money was put to, for the benefit of the greater good, we wouldn't be where we are. Now, the minority is saying the military should be left out of the enforcement on the grain ban. You know that drought situation that has caused looming food crisis. He said it's not drought, it is dry spell. Yes.
Now it's not drought anymore.
It's not drought anymore, it is dry spell. Let me get into the story and then we'll discuss. Just a second. The minority in Parliament has condemned the government's decision to deploy the military to border towns across the country to supposedly enforce the ban on the export of grain from the country in the wake of the reported drought-induced crop failure in the northern parts of the country. It said the deployment of the military without any timelines and broader consultations with the stakeholders raised several questions and suspicions. Let me skip to the part where it says, reacting to the government's decision to deploy the military to border towns to enforce the ban on grain exports, the ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee, James Agaga, said, quote, consequently, any attempt to deploy the military when there is no evidence to show that the Immigration and Customs Services will be overwhelmed in the enforcement of the ban on the exportation of grain heightens our suspicions. Indeed, the government should be mindful of the cost of military deployment along the borders because it could be more than the value of grains they wish to protect within the country. Is this a job that should have been left to immigration, or are they right to deploy military personnel to go and protect our borders just to ensure that no grains are leaving this country?
Is it protection or it's something else? They are
That's what
deploying
they're
them for this thing, so that's a political thing. Because this one, why do you need military? We are
you don't think we need the military?
We are coming to an election and you are deploying military to borders. What is the meaning of it? What is the meaning of it? They have their own intention. They deploy military to Togo with the view that the people in Togo will come and vote in the voter region. That is why they are deploying military. How are they going to stop people from, bringing grains? And that's
you don't know that for sure.
No, but what Agaga said, it means that at the end of the day, you spend more money than how much grains they should give. You see, I want data like Shedda did. How much grain is exported in a year? The grains, we even import grains.
That is what I was going to say.
So from this export, we import grains. The grains, we import grains from Burkina Faso all over the place. Even from these people who are fighting, what is their name? Ukraine.
Yeah.
We used to import grains from Ukraine. So what are they talking about?
That they said they are trying to protect the country.
I am saying that how much grains is in the country that we are
from food shortage.
No, but I'm saying if we have a dry spell, it means that this year we don't have grains. So how much grains are we?
We have entered September. They said that we will start feeling the effect in September.
I am saying that so they said that this dry spell started in June, July, August. So 4 months. The planting season for grain started in June. 4 months. How much grains have we accrued to export? Is there availability of grains to export? They should tell us. So what are you going to bring? You see, people have come from Burkina Faso, entered the northern part, Mahama Kro, if you know Tamale, Mahama Kro, they are there in the bush. Where was the military? Our porous borders, they came with cattle. The media has talked about it and nobody is saying anything. Now they want to deploy military to borders. They want to, so that's what? We don't need the military to be deployed to borders for any exportation of grain, ban on exportation of grain. We don't need it.
Okay,
how much grain is being exported? They should give us the quantum and the value. Before they
so do you agree that this is a job that they should have left to immigration?
You know, we always do things that makes people suspicious, and I don't understand. We as people. Look.
Nanaya, you are visibly vexed.
No,
I know, but what is the meaning of it?
Like I was going to ask, the last time I checked, we are being accused of importing even plantain. Tomatoes, onions.
Everything.
We import tomatoes.
Yes, tomato from Burkina Faso.
That's why.
The Burkina Faso.
Well, you know, tomatoes will grow behind anywhere in this country. Anywhere in this country, you put seeds, they will grow.
You know,
all right. Mr. Capito,
if you are coming from Kumasi or going to Kumasi, is it Bunsu Junction?
Bunsu Junction.
If you get the other articulators, they have onions in them.
Yes.
Where are they coming from?
They are coming
from Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso.
So
some from Niger as well.
Some from Nigeria.
I'm just saying that what are they talking about? Somebody, if you say they are going to smuggle cocoa, that one I agree
with you.
Yes, it's cocoa that we are struggling.
We are importing grains.
Plantain. Plantain.
There's Abidjan plantain, Sefa.
Plantain.
Sefa plantain.
I have plantain growing in my house. So the question I'm asking myself is, do we do things just to make us feel that we should suspect our government? It's like every that thing that is done is done with the political mind. And I don't get it. We are in
election
year.
Yeah.
This is September 3rd.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's 2nd. It's September 2nd.
Today is 2nd.
Yeah.
Today is 2nd.
Yes, yesterday was
sure. So the question is, you know, I'm frustrated.
Why wouldn't you be frustrated?
Okay, so let's put a pin in it and do some other stories. So you both agree with
they are going to what?
James Agalga.
500 million. They need 500 million for farmers. Then at the end of the day, they need 8 billion Ghana cedis to what is that?
To curtail the looming.
No, but I'm saying that what happened to digitalization? That they could not even predict. What happened to forecasting? The meteorological survey was, gave them a warning. The minister was just interested in buying hotel. He didn't listen, and now we are here. He was interested in buying hotel for himself. He didn't listen.
Then I hold for me. No, let's do your stories. Yeah, that's true. I get your point. Let's do some other stories.
My story says Eastern Region.
And that's the Ghanaian publisher.
Yeah, Eastern Region hosts town hall meeting tomorrow. With a picture of the Minister for Information, Fatima Abubakar. 15 private lotto operators get NLA license. And I hope you allow me to talk about this. Bamia to unveil a business fund for women, to whom NPP rallies behind protozoa.
Okay, so let's do that story you are
blame
interested in.
Galamsey for Elmina Cape Coast water crisis. Ghana Water Company saying that.
Yeah.
Yes. So which one?
You can do one because
I can do
time.
one.
Yeah.
I'm looking at why is Ghana becoming a gambling nation?
Because there's nowhere else to make money. And I'm speaking for the young people.
But that is even the danger. Sweetie, ask anybody that gambles. I know people in Ghana. I know people in Ghana who have lost their family, their property, and even everything that they have in life. Gambling is an addiction.
Yeah.
And I am very, very, very disappointed in NPP and NDC saying in their manifesto that they will scratch or remove the betting tax.
Yeah.
This is non-starter. Are they, because they are lazy, they can't give jobs to the youth? That is a reason. Because if you accept that, the young men are saying, and that's what they tell me, Mr. Capito, by near you may be a tax. And the lazy politicians have bought into it.
I heard a former president say that in that engagement with the youth, when they launched the youth manifesto, he said, money no day, job no day. The small bets where they do something. That one's one tax. So when
I will call them lazy leaders. Lazy leaders without a vision to condone gambling, and the NLA has given 15 private lotto operators licenses just a few days ago. Look, in any advanced country, smoking is an addiction. Even sex is an addiction. People are treated for sex addiction.
Yeah.
In advanced countries, people are treated for alcohol addiction. People are treated for gambling addiction.
Yeah.
And then these lazy leaders who cannot find jobs, and I'm telling any young man that don't listen to these lazy old men, would they let their children go and gamble? I'm asking Dr. Baumia, I'm asking His Excellency John Mahama, what is the boy's name, the fine-looking boy that he goes around, his son, what's his name? I've forgotten his name. He has a nice name. Sharaf or whatever his name is. Sharaf. Would he allow him to gamble? Look, and mothers, you know what? I'm very, very pissed off about mothers in Ghana.
What have we done?
Because you know what? These are your children. These are your children. Do you know the future? Do you know what is going to happen in Ghana? We're going to have armed robbers because it is like an addiction. It's like a drug addict. When he needs the fix, he will find a means to go get it. They will attack you. They will steal from you.
But Mr. Capito, we've had the NLA has been in existence for so many years.
Can I explain
so why? What is your pain point?
Let me explain the reason why we even allow Lotto. And if you read the NLA, they say partners in development. The money that is made from Lotto, when you need good roads, some of the money can come from there. When you need a hospital, some of the money can come from there because of the taxes and the monies that they make. So for you to tell me that NLA should be the only person allowed to do lotto because they collect the money on behalf of all of us for development.
Oh, okay.
But to allow, look, and the danger, this thing that I'm holding, your 10-year-old son watching EPL will go and steal your money, hide somewhere, and bet on the phone.
You have to land on this point.
I'm just saying that I am irritated as a father. I am annoyed as a grandfather that these lazy leaders, and I call them lazy this morning, who cannot find jobs for the young. And the Bible says the devil finds job for the idle hands.
All right, let's land there. Nanaya.
I have the Ghanaian Times.
Okay.
Water shortage in Cape Coast. I think we've talked about it. Minority opposite, we have talked about it. Don't abandon country after your studies abroad. If you find
Who's
jobs,
saying that?
It says President appeals to Ghanaian students. If you find jobs for them, they will not leave. They will come back because they don't have jobs to do. They will stay there. Adenta NPP PC boosts police mobility, security in community. And my interest is in the president approved Saglemi negotiation framework. I have a big issue with this Saglemi issue, my dear.
The problem with private partnerships,
Yes, why
to
private
develop
partner?
that?
Because
but it was abandoned for so long.
Who abandoned it?
Oh, well.
They are saying that when they came, if there are issues on it, you've taken the issues to court. You dichotomize between the issues that are legal and the building. Do you get it? The facility. They said that what was left was electricity, water, and sanitation. That is the last lap when you are building. When you do your building and everything is in place, water, electricity, and sanitation is what is left. And if you are supposed to put in $100 million, that's what they are saying. That the survey department did the survey. This big facility, if you put in $100 million, what is wrong with it? Because you use about 1/3 of it to pay somebody just for maintenance. You cannot get $100 million to finish the building for Ghanaians to go and live in comfortably and deal with the legal issues that you are saying. I mean, that one is different. It doesn't mean that, because right now the issue is still in court and you are, getting a private person to come and build. How then will it be affordable to Ghanaians? Meanwhile, Ghanaians don't have places to lay their heads. You have allowed this place to run down. Thieves have entered and taken away sinks, pipes, vandalized the whole place. And now you are going to give it to a private developer.
But Anaya, whether or not it will be affordable, that is the details of whatever collaboration that is going on.
But I am saying that why have we gotten to this point and given it to a private sector person? Because $100 million for that big facility, for electricity, water, if it is true, well, electricity, water, once you build and it's left with electricity, water, and sanitation, it means you finish the building. I thought they were going to talk about maybe inbuilt wardrobes and things, sinks and electricity, water, and sanitation, sewage. That place is big. So you can't find the money to do this for Ghanaians. You cannot. You have to go and put it in the hands of a private sector person. Wait for it to go bad 8 years. Then now you said that you are going to find a private sector person to work on it. Doesn't make sense. How then will it become affordable? Because the private sector person is working for profit. It is not for free. And you, government, you can't find this money for Ghanaians to enjoy the building, to also be there and have a decent place to live. The concept is good. If there were issues about it, fine. Deal with the issues. And also make sure that the place is done for Ghanaians to stay in and enjoy. And have a place to shelter food. Right. It is key.
We have to go. But I mean, at the end of the day, the devil is in the details. So I want to see the copy of whatever contract and finalized agreement so we can probe and see how it benefits,
even in terms of awarding the contract.
Oh, the open bids. I think it's been a process. They've been doing this for about 4 months now. And Kojo Oponkruma keeps putting it in the newspaper. They first opened bids. They gave us a number of people that were shortlisted. I can follow the process.
I did. Following it.
No, I did.
And you know the person who they
not off the top of my head. Yes.
I'm saying that the issue, when we spoke about it, that they have neglected the place, they said the issue is in court. Is the issue still not in court?
Well. That is Nanaya Achapim Jantwa, former General Secretary of the CPP, as well as Mr. Kofi Capito from Consumer Protection
Yes, because
Agency.
John
Thank you so much for joining us for News Review, Nanaya.
They should just, yes, because he did it. They don't want to give the credit.
Right.
So they should just
stay with us because sports is coming up next. Thank you for staying with us.